Every shower you take sends 40 gallons of usable water straight into the sewer. 5,000 years ago, Minoan engineers on Crete channeled that exact water through clay pipes to irrigate palace gardens. A Santa Barbara designer built a $60 gravity system from hardware store fittings that saves 30,000 gallons annually without pumps, filters, or electricity. By the end of this video, you will discover exactly why 13 states made it illegal and how you can build one yourself. Right now, water is flowing through the walls of your home. Every sink, every shower, every washing machine cycle pushes water through your drain lines and straight into the municipal sewer. That water never touched a toilet. Engineers call it Greywater, and it accounts for 50 to 60% of all indoor water use. A family of 4 generates between 120 and 200 gallons every single day, enough to sustain an entire backyard orchard. Instead, it gets mixed with toilet waste, processed at enormous public expense, and dumped. The water is already in your pipes. The only question is where it goes after it leaves your drain. We did not discover this. Every civilization that mastered water figured it out independently. From the Bronze Age, around 3,200 BC, domestic wastewater was being reused by civilizations across China, Egypt, the Indus Valley, Mesopotamia, and Crete. At the Palace of Phaistos, Minoan engineers built clay conduit networks channeling used household water directly to agricultural land. At the villa of Agia Triata, archaeologists found a drainage system so precisely engineered that the Italian writer Angelo Masso, visiting in the early 20th century, noted it still functioned perfectly during heavy rain, 3,000 years after it was built. At Mohenjo-Daro in modern Pakistan and Dholavira in Gujarat, entire cities featured brick-lined channels carrying used water from homes to surrounding agricultural fields. The Romans perfected the cascade. Bath water from the Great Thermae flowed first to latrines, then to garden irrigation. An entire empire ran on the principle that used water still had value. In Mesoamerica, the Aztecs built Chine Ampas, floating garden systems reclaiming household waste into what researchers now describe as the most productive and ecologically sustainable agriculture in pre-Hispanic Mesoamerica. 5,000 years, 6 continents. Every advanced hydraulic civilization independently concluded that used water is not wastewater. Then in less than a century, the modern plumbing industry erased this knowledge entirely. But the physics never changed. And in 1981, a man in a canyon above Santa Barbara set out to recover it. Art Ludwig has studied water systems in 27 countries, attaining fluency in 5 languages. He has consulted for New York, California, and New Mexico on water reuse policy. But his most important contribution required a trip to the hardware store. Ludwig examined the Greywater systems being sold commercially. Elaborate machines featured filters, pumps, tanks, disinfection units, and electronic controllers costing $1,000 to $30,000. He noticed something remarkable. The vast majority were either freshly installed, abandoned, or failing. They represented about 5% of all Greywater systems in use. The other 95% were simple, and those simple systems actually worked for decades. So Ludwig stripped away every bit of complexity. He called the result the branched drain system. It uses double L-flow splitters made from standard ABS pipe fittings available at any hardware store. These fittings split water flow evenly at each branch point without any filter to clog. Ludwig tested one with kitchen sink water for 6 months. It never clogged. The system works entirely on gravity. No pump, no filter, no electricity, no moving parts. Off-the-shelf pipe fittings outperform thousands of dollars of complex machinery. Total material cost runs about $60. Ludwig did not patent the branch drain. He published every innovation into the public domain. He gave it away. Then researchers started measuring. A study through the Energy and Environmental Building Alliance found projected water savings for a household of 6 reach approximately 30,000 gallons per year. Greywater Action measured an average savings of 14,565 gallons per year per household across California. Research confirms reductions of 27% in single-family homes and 38% in multi-family dwellings. Studies from Denmark found potential savings up to 43%. A residential building in Norway has operated an on-site system since the year 2000, meeting World Health Organization standards the entire duration. A $60 system, built in a weekend, saving thousands of gallons every year, validated across 4 continents. So why is this not written into every building code in America? Because the plumbing codes were not written for you. They were written against you. For most of American history, plumbing codes made no distinction between gray water and black water. All water leaving a home was required to flow into the sewer or septic system. Reusing any of it was illegal. This shifted in the early 1990s when drought-stricken California realized it was sending a massive irrigation source straight down the drain. But California's first reform was a disaster. The new code treated gray water like septic waste. People who wanted to irrigate still had to build illegal systems. An estimated 1.7 million unpermitted gray water systems operated across California alone. In 1998, gray water pioneer Val Little surveyed residents in southern Arizona. 13% of households were already using gray water. Every single one was doing it illegally. The restrictive code did not prevent reuse. It prevented her from teaching people how to do it safely. Today, over 8 million Americans use gray water for landscape irrigation. Most are breaking the law. The national plumbing codes remain deeply flawed. Independent analysis describes the Uniform Plumbing Code as inadequate and the International Code Council version as even worse. Inspectors shake their heads at blueprints for systems that have operated successfully on every continent for 5,000 years. Contractors tear out freshly installed pipes because the code never mentioned a technology older than Western civilization itself. When a code is out of touch with reality, people ignore it. Codes, this irrational, do not happen by accident. Follow the money. Municipal water systems depend on volume-based revenue. Every gallon diverted from the sewer is revenue lost twice, once on the supply side and once on the treatment side. Gray water reuse threatens centralized water infrastructure at its financial foundation. Executives in utility boardrooms and lobbyists walking government hallways have every reason to keep this technology buried. The plumbing product industry has its own incentive. A $60 branched drain cannot support an industry designed around complexity. Every simple system installed is a complex system never sold. The organizations writing national plumbing codes draw committee membership heavily from industry manufacturers and utility representatives. The codes reflect who writes them. Health risk is the shield behind which all of this hides. Ludwig conducted a quantitative analysis demonstrating risk is negligible when systems use subsurface dispersal through mulch basins. That analysis opened the door for rational regulation in California. Researchers put it bluntly, strict regulations are doomed to fail because people will just do it illegally. The codes do not prevent gray water reuse, they prevent safe gray water reuse. That is not a public health strategy, it is an industry protection racket. But some states cracked, and the sky did not fall. Arizona led the way. No permit is required for a system producing less than 400 gallons per day. Arizona law even provides a tax credit for residential gray water installation. Families across Phoenix and Tucson legally water fruit trees with shower water, and their landscapes thrive in desert heat. In 2009, California finally rewrote its gray water code, making low-tech systems legal and exempting clothes washer systems from permit requirements entirely. Ludwig played a central role. New Mexico requires no permit for systems under 250 gallons per day. Texas sets its threshold at 400 gallons. In every reformed state, the result was the same: no public health crises, no contaminated aquifers, just fruit trees growing tall on water that used to go to the sewer. Australia now requires gray water-ready plumbing in new construction. The European framework treats gray water as a resource. When codes reflect physics instead of protecting revenue, adoption is immediate and health outcomes are identical to conventional systems. The physics is the same in every state. Gravity works in Georgia exactly as it works in Arizona. Here's how you build it. The branched drain distributes greywater through standard ABS or PVC drain pipe, 1.5 to 2 inches in diameter, installed at a minimum 2% slope, 1/4 inch of drop per foot of horizontal run. At each branch point, a double L flow splitter divides water evenly. Once flow splits from a 2-inch pipe, you reduce to a 1.5-inch pipe. The smaller pipe moves solids more effectively through reduced flow. Each branch terminates at a mulch basin. The basin is a shallow depression surrounding a fruit tree filled with wood chip mulch. The water infiltrates the soil beneath. The mulch acts as a living biofilter. The roots absorb the nutrients. No water pools on the surface. A 3-way diverter valve lets you switch flow between irrigation and the conventional sewer during winter months, heavy rain, or household illness. Use plant-friendly soaps without heavy concentrations of salt, boron, or chlorine bleach. Keep kitchen sink water out of the system. The best sources are showers, bathtubs, bathroom sinks, and washing machines. The water flowing from your shower right now is the same water that the Minoans redirected through palace drains at Knossos 3,200 years before Rome was founded. The physics has not changed. Gravity still pulls water downhill at exactly the same rate it always has. Art Ludwig published every design into the public domain. Not patented, not proprietary, he built a system that costs $60, requires no electricity, and has no replacement parts. Then he handed it to the world. California had 1.7 million illegal systems before the 2009 reform. That weight of non-compliance is precisely what forced the code to change. It always changes eventually. The branch drain asks nothing of you except a weekend of digging and a lifetime of not sending perfectly good water into the sewer. The codes will catch up. They have no choice. The water has been flowing through your walls every single day, waiting to be useful. It has always been waiting.